On EA Sports, coming up, dual threat Christian McCaffrey. Fresh off a big game a week ago, as it'll be the Atlanta Falcons taking on the Carolina Panthers. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Carolinas and Bank of America Stadium here in uptown Charlotte. A short time ago, a scene that never fails to stir up the folks here in Charlotte. Cam Newton strutting his way onto the field. His guys are fired up as they get set to go toe-to-toe with the Atlanta Falcons. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, we look at this Panther ball club as they enter play here. They've been buoyed by getting 2 home games right at the start, and they come off a good victory in Week 1. Meanwhile, for the visiting Falcons, they come off a good win in the opener on the road, and they get a second road game here.
Yeah, the schedule makers didn't really do them any favors, but if they can win here and get to 2-0 on the road, they could be well set up for the rest of the year.
2 teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by the NFL's most valuable player from 2015. It's Cam Newton.
And when he's at the top of his game, you see that big smile, that's when you know everything is clicking. That means he's accurate throwing the football. They can't get him down in the run game, and his team is having a whole lot of fun because when they score a touchdown, some fan's going to get lucky and get the game ball.
First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle.
And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off around the 41, and they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts.
Green 39! Green 39! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky.
Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 8 carries, 67 yards, and a touchdown.
And that explosive run right there reminds me that last week ran the ball really well, so they're continuing to do what they did in the previous game, run the ball and run it successfully. Expect that to continue throughout this one.
And he spins, but I think the ball's out, and the Panthers have recovered. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
This one complete to Devin Funchess. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
On second down, McCaffrey. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the first down sticks are, and get there.
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Jordan. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits, and these creases like they were able to exploit right there.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of 4th down, first down.
Well, so much for winning the down you put a lot of emphasis on, because 3rd down is key for offense and defense. Instead, you're going to stay on the field and start a new set of downs.
They go play action here on first down. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Anthony Barr. In from his linebacker's spot, he's able to drop him for a loss of about 10.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. So a turnover-filled first quarter of play comes to an end. Can't wait to see what the second quarter has in store. We're back to Uptown Charlotte after this timeout.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you and you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. From the gun, here's Newton. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
If you run an out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And that hits the crossbar and comes back, and it's no good. And by just a whisker, this remains a scoreless game. And because they couldn't hit the long field goal, they are set up nicely offensively at the 41, 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air, eluding the pressure right. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
And they'll run it here. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And some space here. There he goes left side. Touchdown, Falcons. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Falcons are able to show off their quick strike ability. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
The tackle made there by Tack McKinley. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Now Newton on first down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
False start, offense.
So that'll back him up 5. And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. McCaffrey following the penalty. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35. These 5th-rounders, and to use him as an example, maybe you take a little bit of a flyer on someone, hope you hit goal.
Exactly, because when you get into the 5th round, you're usually not counting on him to become a starter right away, but we've seen so many times 5th, 6th, 7th, undrafted free agents who come in and make their way, and in a big way.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago, really it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, it all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. So on 4th down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there at 22. They'll look to throw here on first down. Looking deep for Jennings. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. Jennings was the one he was looking for.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
Newton now to throw. Got a man right side. It's McCaffrey. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Out of the gun, Newton. Funchess with a catch over the middle. 20. Funchess is free. Touchdown, Carolina. Devin Funchess, his second touchdown on the season. And the Panthers are now an extra point away from tying up this game. And a little time left on the clock, so on the other side, they're thinking, gosh, we'd like to get that lead right back.
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. Here I am going ahead and tapping out the first half.
Well,
There's still time. They've got to make a decision about what they want to do on the kickoff, or they want to let their return guy touch it.
This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And it was his interception on the last drive that wound up leading to a game-tying touchdown.
And somehow you can make this a positive, though. You know why? Game tied now. So you're not protecting the lead. So you're not playing that way. You've got to go get the lead again. So maybe it loosens him up a little bit and allows him to go ahead and be a little more free in his play.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Flushed out right. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. And before they can run this third down play, we're going to get a timeout, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter.
Detroit! 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 Detroit!
Back to throw. Looking deep for Gabriel. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. A big play there as the first half is winding down. And the Falcons are in for 6.
And that lead is now 7 with a chance to go to 8 or more if they want to get crazy here, which we don't expect. But I just know the way the game's being played, the analytics, there's going to be a lot more of going for 2 in a lot of situations, isn't there?
Yeah, there's going to be. And I think their focus here, they don't want to give up anything going into the lockers on the other, and just a little bit of time left on the clock.
Yeah, they don't want to do anything to erase the good feeling they have right now by getting this late score in the half.
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. To throw on second down is Newton. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Newton on first down. And this one complete right side to Funchess. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. A final shot before the break. Newton. Flush to his right. So we have reached halftime now with the visiting Falcons out on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin up at legendary Lambeau Field.
We now proceed to the start of the second half. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards, as he'll get this only back to the 20. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done, they're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
He'll drop to throw, being chased out left. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
All right, now, lucky 56, lucky 56. Gone, 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 gone.
He'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
A big chunk of yardage there, 37 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They come out here in the eye. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. A great play there. His second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game, a chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape. And
that's caught inside the 35. A big gain of 39 on 3rd.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around to make the play on the football.
They'll run with McCaffrey. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Back to the ground on first, it's McCaffrey. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop, but that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
It's the Panthers in possession of the football, but face the Panthers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. A shotgun snap for Newton. And it'll be intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Back to NFL, here we go.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Spins by. Oh, another one. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Right back to him on 1st down. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Falcons. A great effort there. 68 yards. And the Falcons will extend their lead. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. Carolina getting set to take the field. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
On 1st and 10, Newton under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Deion Jones not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
To the right side, and he's got more complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Those short little routes probably going to be open. The defense, they'll let those happen, especially when they can make an inbounds tackle.
Yeah, where's Coach Madden when you need him? He always talks about taking what the defense gives you, but sometimes you have to know when you have to take more.
And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Desperation time. Newton, 4th down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this is going to be incomplete. And the Panthers turned away on 4th down. And the Falcons will take control of the football in great field position. But at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up.
And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll set up a throw. This is caught. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Lutz will look to add the extra point. Lutz good on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Lutz now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. And these numbers showing up on the screen, that's why he's their star. They kept him down for a little bit, couldn't keep him down for a full 4 quarters.
But what they were hoping for was a half of a game. And if they could have shut it down at the half, they had done their job. But as you mentioned, a full 4 quarters, and the best, they always feel like they're one run away from changing the momentum or breaking something big. And we're starting to see that here in the second half.
Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. On 1st down, Newton. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Give him 8 on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Draw play as Newton gives to McCaffrey. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this 3rd down play takes place. As they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Newton on 3rd down. And he's got his target. That's more. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going. Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
Newton to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move. Now it's Newton. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Here's Newton now on 2nd down. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. From the red zone now, Newton. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team. But I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Gold able to tack on the extra point, and that'll cut the lead back down to 21. This will be fielded at the 6. Then he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Falcons, it's a dream start. 2 wins in 2 early road games. And they will head home next week to take on the Washington Redskins. Meanwhile, for Carolina, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.